those who to a large extent produce and reprocess half of Moldovan apples within the industrial park. So welcome home, and I call upon you to use either green or red, but pick up an apple. So everybody is encouraged to take an apple. Just to facilitate my activity, I will put. So you're welcome to Edinets town, a town that 10 years ago used to be a rural area, practically a little bit forgotten by the world, at the edge of the country and not a municipality but a small town. Today it is practically the fifth big town or city in the country. In addition to both Edinets and Chisinau, it has been introduced in the 6 development poles of the Republic of Moldova. Through development, we Soroca city are the poles of development. Sometimes we of course argue which one is the capital of apple. They organize a festival, but we do have apples. In addition, I want to say that you are now in a location of the industrial park administered by a company in Edinets that was selected by the city hall, by the mayor's office 10 years ago, and where practically the entire zone was used as a pasture for sheep, for cows, and there would be nothing else. And today we have an investment. So with the national local support and with the support of foreign experts and the residents, and the investment was $500 million lei. I don't know if it is a lot or little, because at that period the budget would be 30 million lei. You should imagine what is the extent of the investment due to efforts of the parliament, of the government, and an Ukrainian resident back in 2013 who came to this area and came up with an investment that seemed for us to be fabulous, real. And the government of that time said, if at least minimum €1 in investment will come, we will make any effort. So in government and in parliament to make sure an industrial park would be put in place in Edinets. So with the support of this Ukrainian company, the Edinets industrial park, so the location will be later, with an investment from the National Fund for Regional Development, and also through multiple projects we implemented together with our European partners, including with the EU delegation. So through the business hub and this location where you are, we have catering services. Also, this place was used for the Ukrainian refugees, because while transiting, they used to stop here. So, but this, we also have a facility for economic development. So, and businesses are built with the support of our European partners. So we want to use this opportunity to express our gratitude to them, and we acknowledge that if we would try to use only our possibilities, we would not get far. But of course, together we are strong, and that's why we want to use this opportunity to thank the partners, to thank the central government and the regional authorities, the regional development agency, and also thanks to my team. So Edinets became one of the most visible cities in the context of intelligent or smart development of the city, because also we have a smart project being implemented in Edinburgh. There are two, one here and one in Chisinau that are implemented, but Edinburgh is taking courageous steps with rather modest funds that manage to make investment in the street lighting and changing the entire mentality. So we put in place green spices, and the security of Edinburgh is almost full on the central streets. So transport service is modern not only in Moldova but in the Eastern Partnership as well as in Europe, like and we are having a very good partnership with Alba Iulia city, and we want to thank the delegation for accepting us to be partners or twin cities, and now due to this we can access other projects to move forward. So I want to say that within the project, which is partner of today's activity, we knew how to invest in institutions, like to make smart investments with Eurolab in kindergartens and schools, in water and sewerage systems, etc. So today, Edinets is being implemented projects in the amount of over 15 million euro. That would be two and a half budgets. This will say little because you need to be part of all these activities to understand. So we are aware that the European path should be clear to all of us, because we consider that the pre-accession projects have not come here, so they are to come within the next 5-6 years, and we want to thank the central government and my colleagues as well as to our European partners. I will finish speaking about Edinets. You should know that you are in the most beautiful city of Moldova and of the Eastern Partnership. So, you're welcome. And you probably are familiar with the agenda of today's because you had some other activities. I want to thank Invest Moldova for facilitating and for being a component part of this process. We want to thank the team of the project from Edinets and Chisinau as well, the smart project that we are implementing. I want to thank the central government. So two state secretaries are present here today, and want to thank the EU delegation because they are the heart and the soul that ensure this full process. This being said, I want to say thank you, and I'd like to invite now Diana Blonska for a welcoming speech from the EU delegation in order to serve as an encouragement for us to move forward in terms of investments and not only. Okay. The mic.
Hello, thank you very much for having me here, dear Mayor, State Secretaries, colleagues and friends, and I'm pretty sure you have a very nice day today, as I do. It's fantastic to be here in Moldova, and I'm really very glad to be in Edinet and discuss with you the opportunities that Moldovan and international, European international companies can have in agri-food and electronics. I really have a great day. It was a pleasure to be hosted by the mayor, to have a great ride in a very nice bus, and to see the city that I understand evolves very much, and with the very participation of the citizens. If you have not yet been in the Edinet, I really recommend. This is something to see, and you can feel that cooperation, working together, and EU investments make sense, and how much they are helping to develop the local communities. And this park, industrial park that we are now, I hope will bring the other angle, the business angle, and you will see the opportunities that Moldova can offer, and that park in particular can bring, and what kind of things we can do together going forward. So I'm very happy that I can be here and see so many colleagues and people in this event. Of course, we are also speaking in a very specific moment because Moldova is now candidate country, and I think you can feel it and see it as well. This is very developmental and very accelerating process. I was just making a comment to State Secretary that whoever I meet from the administration, from the leadership of Moldova, now we talk about chapters. I think you don't talk about chapters with countries which are not yet that fast and that deep in the enlargement process, because that means that we are discussing legislation and aligning the Moldovan legislation to the EU legislation. I know how bureaucratic it sounds, but that brings real opportunities. That eliminates the barriers to export and to trade. It allows to export faster, but I'm pretty sure that many of you know what I'm talking about. And of course, in the sectors that we are talking about, and agriculture, this is a lot of alignment to take place. But it can be challenging, but it is very beneficial in the end. I'm coming from Poland, so I also have personal experience in it as well. And of course, we are working also on completely new things, like, for example, trying to really eliminate trade barriers. So in some products, you can trade with the EU like a member state to try to simplify the very complicated processes. But this is all that the integration and working with the EU brings, and I hope you will feel the benefits of this cooperation more and more. When we were passing through Edinet, I saw a sign. EU loves Edinet. Edinet or Edinet? I hope I pronounce well. Edinet, I pronounce well? Not so well. I'm sorry, but forgive me. But it's not the pronunciation that counts. It's the feeling that counts. And I just wanted to say that the sign speaks for itself. So I am very happy, and I hope that you will be discovering the opportunities and bringing together partnerships, investment partnerships, as we are discussing. Moldova is already doing a lot and already having a lot, can see benefits from trading and working with the EU. We are very proudly always saying that you are one of the biggest exporters of plums, for example, worldwide, but also to the EU, and that's, I think, makes many other countries jealous. So you took the opportunity of our deep and comprehensive free trade agreement that is already in place. It shows that that can grow, the benefits can be even bigger. And of course, we are looking at the future. And today I've seen extremely smart city, a city that really embraces the digitalization. That means everything is smart, I think, Mayor, in your city, which is very impressive. We don't see it in EU cities sometimes, so it's really something. And I think on this note, also a lot of digitalization in the agri-food sector, and thanks to this park, can still happen, and we can support this. This is one of the directions that we can work together further and support and work on the optimization of the business management, of the monitoring of weather conditions, that I think we all noted that this is extremely important, and of course efficiency in use agriculture fertilizers, looking of course from the perspective of the environment as well. I am very happy that of course that there is a collaboration that we can already see, that thanks to this working together brings also between the associations that are involved today in the organization of this event. I want to thank very much Association of Moldovan Companies in the electronic sector and the Moldova Fruct, and of course to our colleagues from Chisinau as well. And I hope that this event will allow for a lot of networking, a lot of partnerships for investment, and that it will be very fruitful for everyone. And please have a look also in this park, because it can be of interest. Of course, I think it can be of interest for all of us. So thank you very much. Thank you for having us here, and I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. And before I offer the floor to both state secretaries, I would like to offer the floor to Mr. Adrian Tigulan. You're welcome. Dear Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for hosting us. I'm happy we are present here, and Yelena, Mrs. Yablonska, the state secretaries. I want to greet everyone and congratulate with the organization of this event. It's being a very intense week in Chisinau and everywhere in the country, with a lot of such forums and sessions aimed to stimulate and to motivate the development and growth of businesses in Moldova. I would like to confirm that I myself am from Briceni, from the north, and every time I take every possibility to revisit the hometown. State secretary and responsible for the grape and wine making, and Mr. Bole always says that we don't have sector number one, sector number two, all of them are important. But sometimes I make this exception and say that grape and wine is the most developed and the one showing best results, and which makes us the Republic of Moldova seen in the world, and which also hires up to 50,000 people. I represent the Ministry of Agriculture and Food, and I'm going to tell you about the business development from the agricultural point of view. And to this regard, I would like to mention some very important figures, and these are to start with the contribution to of agriculture to the GDP. It's about 20%. So 20% of the GDP is represented by the agri-food industry. 40% of Moldova's exports currently are agri-food products. Another figure equally important, and this is related to IT. So 20% of the Moldovan population is and is employed in agri-food industry, but if we are to compare with the figure of people who have their own private households and plots of land, I think this will grow to 30%. 76% of all the lands in Moldova are agricultural lands. So this is indeed a very important sector which brings added value to the Moldovan economy. And we were comparing it, so I wanted to compare it with the IT sector. So Natalia Bijan, I think, mentioned that the IT employs 26,000 people. And yes, it is a developing sector. It offers higher salaries, and it's a future-bound sector, and which also touches many other economic sectors, including agriculture, which is going to be smart and digitalized. But 26,000 and IT is okay. But what about the rest of the people, those who work, who are employed in agriculture? We talk a lot about the migrants, and first of all, we have to stop the exodus of Moldovans abroad. But there is another process. We want to bring these people home, and I think everybody who is coming home, first of all, will be employed in agriculture. Why? Because we are an agricultural land, and especially in the context of the crisis, the COVID, the war, a lot is being talked about the food crisis, and Moldova has comparatively good advantages. I mean, trained people and fertile soil, and I'm talking about Chernozem or black soils, which are highly appreciated in the world. I visited a university in the Netherlands, and there is a museum of soils, and they all know about our Chernozems, and I was proud to learn what that people in the world know about black soils in Moldova. So I've given you a few important figures, but only to show you, to underpin how anchored we are to the agriculture, everybody here. But there is the other side to this coin. We have to be fast to transit to smart agriculture, doing smart agriculture. When I mention smart agriculture, I mean business. many of you applying to funds, to grants, they may believe that business plans are not really useful, but actually this is everybody should start with. Because a business plan shows the investments, their return, when they will be returned, the understanding of the export markets, how well the product will be sold, and so on. So this business plan will make people, when you do your business plan, you will stop once again and think, does it merit to invest in a big area of land to plant an orchard or to do whatever, given the climate crisis, and so on? Does it make sense to plant maize or a cherry orchard? Is it worthy to start it when I don't have, when there is a crisis with the workforce? In the world where 9 people are enough to process to work on 1 hectare. And when I want to start a process where 60 people will be involved. And this is actually a good way, when we hire this many people, it's a good way to bring people home. I told you about business plan and added value. And in this context, I believe that we must implement, first of all, modern cultivation methods. Second, we need to invest, make big investments in post-harvesting processing and packaging. And certificates are important. We discussed it with Mrs. Blonska that in the Ministry of Agriculture we are on our way to update our legislation to bring it in harmony with the European legislation. Chapter 11 were a very important one where negotiations will take a lot of time. But it depends on how good we negotiate it, so and hence how well we will be prepared. Coming back again to the grape and wine sector, yes, it is developed. We have their high added values. We're well anchored. We have our local wines, and I don't see any place, let's say, for imported wine. But we have a long chain, food chain. So we grow grapes, we produce wines, we bottle it, we have the nice labeling, etc. So everything, the whole chain, which will help us become known in the world. So why don't we extrapolate this to other products? Fruits, let's say. We are very proud of our cherries. We exported about 14,000 tons of cherries. About 140,000 tons of apples we exported to 34 countries. Plums, 82 percent of our exports of plums are aimed to the European market. We have good results at table grapes, which we exported at the amount about $78 million. And what's best, at a good price. So we can make profits with agriculture. So we don't export table grapes at 60 cents per kilogram. It's more expensive, which makes it profitable. We export packaged table grapes. Quite a lot is invested in packaging, in special packaging hubs and processing hubs. So only by developing this post-harvesting procedures we will have good results. Ministry of Agriculture, what we are doing, except all these harmonization efforts and restructuring, which we are engaged in, and besides subsidies we're offering, we meet agricultural workers, agribusiness, And we explain them that yes, there are zones in Moldova which cannot cultivate certain crops, but and we have to associate with Europe because it will be a solution to key two challenges. First of all, costs of production, and number two is small prices, plus irrigation, which is also solved by association of producers we are talking about, because only when producers join efforts they can solve these three problems. Agricultural chambers, only by having the agricultural chambers, you will have this necessary support to help you with application to grants, etc. In the context with the association with the EU, it will be important. So, and these chambers will be of big help to you. What else the Ministry of Agriculture does? We understand that one of the key challenges in Moldova is irrigation. So we have Agri program with its 55 million euro, 25 million euro are invested in irrigation systems. With Mr. State Secretary, Mr. Garaz, we visited some places and we inspected the state of lakes and other water ponds. So unless we intervene, we can implement whatever nice words, smart and so on, but agriculture will never be at a level. So we need to develop centralized irrigation system. Only half of them, 22 of them, are still functional, which have been rehabilitated with the help of our partners from the USA. Now the government is investing in 3 more systems, one in Briceni, one in Cahul, and one in Stefan border. Other 2 irrigation systems will be built with the help of the French Development Agency at Kaliningrad and Kriuleni. So we're investing a lot in zootechnical, in animal farming, because here we also have a challenge and we need to invest to develop this sector. There are very good prospects for agriculture, but only with joint efforts. Only with the help of the European partners will be able to develop this sector. And yes, we need to invest in higher added value products. And we must be realistic to plant where it is possible to plant and not to plant where it is not possible. So we need to be very earmarked, very targeted. Thank you very much.
Al doilea secretar de stat, deci Viorel Găras, Ministerul Economiei, Dezvoltării și Digitalizării.
Bună ziua, doamnelor și domnilor.
Mrs. Jablonska, Mr. Kojukaru, Mrs. Natalia Bejan, dear colleagues, dear friends, I'm really honored to stand in front of you and to share the joy for the fact that we are not only in Chisinau. The economic development doesn't mean only Chisinau, and the Republic of Moldova doesn't mean only Chisinau. So inclusively us at the Ministry of Economic Development and Digitization, we undertook to, based on certain policy documents, to redistribute the economic development, particularly the industrial one, outside the largest cities that we have in the country, which are Chisinau, Balsungen. So the previous policies would be developed in such a way that the large industrial producers to be attracted in free economic zones. This policy has accomplished its mission, and we managed to attract several large investors that essentially contributed to the economic development of the country. But now we do consider the time has come that other regions that are less industrialized or less developed to benefit from the same attractive tools, instruments, to be able to also have investors likewise in the free economic zones. So the industrial park of Edinets very several times is provided as an example, as a model, and I have still responsibility to say that the industrial parks being the next investment platform which will be attractive for those who want to make investments in the Republic of Moldova. And here I do not mean only foreign investors, but also local ones. And indeed, the industrial park of Enians is provided as a model in terms of how it was built or created, and up to the moment, how to the way it is administered, it is managed. And of course, we have different examples, more positive and some of them negative ones, but the industrial parks will be indeed the future of the industrial future of the country to stimulate. In order to stimulate the development, we've amended the law in industrial parks, and I want to call upon the state authorities as well as to Mrs. Natalia Bejan, that represents the investment agency, who is the first person who gets into contact with the potential investors, to also encourage the mayor, not only of Edines, but also representatives of central local authorities, in order to ensure a close collaboration and go estrange from the political color or parties, and create conditions, advantageous conditions for the investors, both foreigners and local ones. We've created a very advantageous legal framework. It is also in effect and needs to be implemented, and we are talking about state support scheme, which in combination with the new customs code, in effect as of 2024, will provide even more advantageous conditions than the ones that the investors in the free economic zones benefit from nowadays, which means that those who administer or manage a local public administration authority, and likewise Mr. Kojukaru mentioned, about 10-12 years you could see only cows and sheep and goats on this territory used as a pasture, but of course it is good to have pastures as well, where there is fallow land or with zero cost, the local authorities will transform such land into a space where an industrial park can be put in place. I want to mention the support received from European partners, from GIZ agency, who provide assistance to local authorities during the planning, in carrying out feasibility studies, in preparing the designs. Oftentimes the authorities are scared of such costs, but of course we are supported to develop such investment platforms. And another issue, or reason for joy, you could see a stand in front of the entrance that shows an interesting tandem between farming and cutting-edge technology. So, and we are glad that we were met and welcomed with such fruits. So previously I had an occasion to participate in an event when we were celebrating the farmers, and very many farmers would complain that they have nowhere to sell their produce, being the largest producers of grapes, with having cold storages but no markets. And they met us with bananas and kiwi when we came. And thanks God that we've already implemented our dream and our plan, and the Donetsk city is among the most modernized and developed, and I do hope that and call upon that all the LED bulbs or that will be installed on the streets of cities and villages of Moldova to be produced or manufactured in Moldova, because we have at least one is present here. We have such manufacturers that can provide high quality lighting systems. We do have a producer that shortly or soon will launch an electric transport or vehicles factory. So we've already created I have a tradition to walk through the bars and through the supermarkets to identify the products made in Moldova. And anytime I see a fruit or other items, so I am proud. Of course, some of the products cannot be seen, but probably the next speaker will tell you in the next speech in which cities they installed such lighting, intelligent or smart lighting systems, and we are proud that they were manufactured in Moldova and with the support of students from the Technical University of Moldova. Moldova is no longer a country that may supply a lot of labor force, cheap labor, in an unlimited, how to say, number. The only chance for survival is to produce smart products, smarter than the ones available on the world market. I am the mayor of Vidinets show that we have the most beautiful apples, and you can see it in comparison with the world market. We have engineers that produce cutting edge electric transport means that can be seen in European capitals, not only Moldova. We are ready to support such manufacturers, and whenever we have an opportunity to develop an own business or to make a procurement, to give priority to local producers, manufacturers. So whether you need an apple or some wire or some bulb, so it is better to buy the local products to help them pay wages to their workers, and in order to ensure a developed economy, and of course with the support of our partners from the European Union, we will have a large stable market, a rich market where we will be able to develop and export our products that would be extremely smart, tasty fruits and vegetables from Moldova. Thank you for attention, and I want to assure you that the doors of the Ministry for Economic Development and Digitalization are open for you, and the investment agency provides support, a considerable support to those who want to diversify their export markets. So they implement numerous programs and projects, and also provide or inform the farmers and producers about the opportunities. And also the Ministry of Agriculture provides considerable subsidies to those who want to get into high value agriculture farming, and they recover at least the farmers can recover at least 50% of their investment. It's a pity today to say I have no money to do business in Moldova. So we have 7.3 from ODA that provides funds in very advantageous conditions, grants from ODA, from IPA. All those who want to do business are and will be supported by the government, and please encourage the younger ones, the older ones to do business, and because only in this way we will increase the income collected in the budget to develop our country. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. State Secretary. So now I invite Natalia Bejan, General Director of Investment Agency of Moldova.
Dear colleagues, partners, hello. I'm also from the north, not from Briceniu Yedinets, I'm from Dondusheni. And I'm happy that we are launching this part of Moldova Business Week in Yedinets, and this is the first of the regions we are going to visit. We have two more. And It seems to me today that it's already 138th day of business week because the days are so intense, so many stories we have heard. Today, while going from Chisinau to Yedinets, we visited two sites, two producers of fruits in Moldova. And I learned so much when I came to work with the Moldovan Investment Agency. Some ideas I'd never heard before I came to work there. Because we used to talk about Moldova in this way, that we are a very small country, only 131st, fifth place in the world by its size. And we usually do not mention that we are like exporter number 3 of plums in the world. We come into the first 20 world exporters of apples, grapes, walnuts. So this small country, 135th place in the world by its size, has the kind of output of production which we're not aware of many times. As a citizen of Moldova, I don't want to hear anymore that we are a country with a cheap workforce. And I even discussed it yesterday with the director of investment agency from Poland, who mentioned the same, that they long ago abandoned telling this phrase, and now they have achieved the state when have effective production and they have talented workforce which produces talented products. The two industries we are presenting to you today in Yedinets, the agri-food business with a heavy accent on fruit because the north is really strong in fruit, and electronics. So these are the two sectors where we can show competitive advantages, and hopefully we will have time today to discuss them in detail. I'm not going to focus anymore because I'm going to give floor to my colleague from the investment agency who will tell you more about our outputs. And by the way, one of the activities which we are going to see, these are business missions, and these are one of 3 instruments which work very well to promote exports. As a secret between us, there are 2 strongest tools. One is to take part in international trades and fairs, and one I heard from my colleagues here, because this is exactly what they said, that when we participate in exhibitions or fairs, we meet personally with our counterparts, and this is how we make contacts. So we do not close, I mean, it's no way, it doesn't make any sense to sit closed in your office. And so we are going to organize two events, one in Moldova, one in Romania. And what's important about them, every industry, the most active one which participated was the fruit industry. And this is to say, I want to motivate you, particularly producers, become member of a business community, be it local, regional, countrywide. We cooperate with business associations very well, particularly when talking about exports. And make sure you're not alone in this action, this desire to grow your companies and your products. So today we're in Yedinets. We are open to you. And I just want to wish you a successful event and just remind you that we are here for cooperation and support. We are open. Thank you. Okay, this so far has been the opening session, and just want to say that we are open. We can offer microphone to anyone else. What? In one word, industrial park from Yedinets, 5 hectares, open for external residents.
Agroalimentar, inclusiv și industrial, pentru orice investitor care vine cu
And it is open to any investor who comes with a well-determined business plan. We are open to offer the facility for 3 years ahead with very big advantages. So about the cost, we offer it at the 0.4 price, then 0.6, then 0.8. So from the real price of the rent. And this is to help you to settle well in Yedinet. So only in your year 4 you will pay the full cost of our rent when you feel confident enough in your business. The idea is to open new jobs, as many as possible, particularly for the local people. Which will help us develop the local community, but also to develop your business. So this is seen as a mutual support, as a step forward for you and for our local community. Now we'd like to welcome Corneliu, a young man who will tell us about the exports, promotion of exports.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Corneliu Spinei, and I am honored to present you the export promotion institution within the investment agency. So we attract investments, but promotes also exports. We do this through a number of programs that I'm gonna present. But I wanted to provide you some important figures that were highlighted by the previous speakers. The fact that the Republic of Moldova, although a small country, not very much known worldwide, over the years we managed to manifest ourselves and get a place among the larger producers. As Natalia was saying, we are number 1 in exporting plums in Europe, 5th place among the largest exporters of walnut. A rather complicated industry with a lot of monopoles. So 9th place in exports of cherries, sweet cherries, of grapes, 10th place, and also the 10th place for the export of apples. There are many other positions that Moldova gained over the past period, and I think that during the panels my colleagues will provide you more details. 2 sectors that we are here to discuss the export potential and the importance for the national economy is the agri-food first. As the State Secretary was saying, it represents 75%. Agriculture, farming is under 75 and percent of the land, and 40. And they represent 40% of the total exports of Moldova. This is an extremely important sector. Another sector that we will provide more details on during the event is the electronic or the IT sector. In 2023, it generated exports in the amount of over $36 million. So we have impressive results. Over 120 cities in the world, public transport, their transport has components manufactured in Moldova. So the transport sector, or this manufacturing sector, employs 13,000 people. And I want to highlight mainly the activities that we have within our agency to support the local producers, the businesses, associations to apply outsourcing and to obtain more trade markets. So we provide logistical and financial support for the participation in exhibitions, fairs and business missions. So better say we ensure access to market studies. So, and we are talking about promotion, networking, but also collaboration with diplomatic missions. A couple of most important programs are the business missions that Natalia mentioned. So these are individual bilateral missions to support our exporters, to have B2B meetings with the buyers, with importers and other parties. We have an export vision program that supports developing market studies to support our exporters understand what are the difficulties in accessing a market, certificates required, export potential on the given market. Recently, we took over the bridge program, which envisions the compensation of the cost for participation in different fora, fairs, B2B meetings, and many others. At the same time, we support the business associations in participating in international exhibitions, the most notorious ones, most important ones. So about export mission, the business missions, so these are B2B meetings with the buyers and importers. We have some important data here on the screen. During the implementation of this program, which is already 4 years old, we managed to make to 3.4 million euro, 150 companies benefited, and the eligible companies that were supported in fresh fruits, electronics, so IT, alcoholic drinks, wines, agri-food products. The missions were conducted in several countries in the Baltic countries, Romania, Scandinavian countries, and the Netherlands this year. Natalia already mentioned that we've planned 2 missions this year that we consider very important. They target 2 strategic markets such as Germany and Romania and Germany. We will have 2 missions in November, for which we already selected 24 companies from fresh and processed fruit sectors and from beverages, alcoholic beverage. In Romania, we'll have 4 business missions and 56 companies were selected, furniture manufacturers, agri-food producers, and 4 alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverage producers. Another program is Export Vision. It used to be called Export Morning. Some of you might know about this program. It supports in developing market studies for the companies to understand correctly how to access a market, what are the certifications, the export potential, how it is more easily to develop trade partnership. And over the years, we developed already 33 market studies in different areas, EU, Asia, and many others. We have over 560 participating companies, 220 speakers in panels. I will clarify here, we do not refer to, we refer to the companies that have already have some know-how and know how to make your presence valid there in order to share their experience and provide certain pieces of advice to producers who want to access the respective markets. Here I wanted to specify a very important issue. For this year we've planned 5 market studies, market researches for the German market. We will complete it by the end of this month, and we are inviting all the interested companies to be present at the presentation of this study. Also in October, we've established for Italy such a report or study to be presented, and we'll make another one for the agricultural production for the EU and also for the IT sector. Another important program in export promotion is Bridge. So it envisions recovering or paying back the cost for the participation in fairs, in B2B missions. So we will pay back the lodging, the transportation costs, or the participation in the events per se. So during the implementation of this project that is in full swing during the last two years, we have a budget of over $570,000. Industries that were supported are as follows: creative, textiles, apparel industry, engineering, IT, waste management, tourism, wine industry, horticulture, apiculture, or bee keeping. So starting October this year, we will relaunch this program covering other industries such as also IT, chemistry and pharmaceuticals, cars and car components, spare parts and startups as well. Another very important activity is to help and facilitate help the companies of Moldova to embrace outsourcing, supporting them in international exhibitions. We included here the most important ones. Green Week exhibition from Berlin, a very important exhibition for the agri-food sector, BioFach, an exhibition dedicated to biological and organic products, which is the most notorious also in Germany, Cosmoprof, dedicated to cosmetics, and also the exhibition Bifesin from Bucharest, that is starting tomorrow, and I will be part of the delegation to represent this. We have Moldova Brands Runaway, one of the most important events in Moldova for the textile industry, where the most interesting collections and also fruit attraction exhibition that is held in Madrid and designed to agri-food products. We have the Electronica exhibition, which will be held in Hamburg in November, and Horeca for horticultural sector. Why have I specified this or mentioned this position? We want to show that the investment agency is trying to stimulate all the sector. We do not choose just certain industries or certain niches. In conclusion, all the programs that I have just presented were aimed at conveying a message, particularly to the producers. We are here as a unit or as an agency, as a public institution, to help you access as many international markets as possible, to identify solutions for the production of certain value-added products or high-value products, and not only to produce high-quality products, but to sell them at an advantageous price in order to ensure a higher profit margin. This being said, the public authorities usually say that things will not work if we are hungry or if we are not okay. So we are now inviting you to a short break to socialize, to do networking. So, and we are kindly asking you to return at 2:30 or 2:30. So, saying this, the first part of our event is over, and you are invited to some lunch break.
Эй, слышишь? Выйди на улицу, послушай. Ты меня слышишь? Аня, 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 Саша.
Eu vă spun bună ziua repetat. Vă mai țin cu vorba până să apropii ceilalți colegi, pentru că între timp au venit încă alții partenerii noștri care avem foarte bune aici din Est.
So our partners are present here. We have a few projects with the partners from Romania and from Austria, and we have Mrs. Ilona here. So, and of course, if the topic would be different, but I want to thank her. We have partners from Poland that we do collaborate with, and from Ukraine. We have a very good collaboration with one Ukrainian partner. Our partners are always beside and lend a hand, and we're trying because, of course, there are challenges that we need to face, and that should find a solution at the government level. So the mayor is worried how we manage to interpret what he's saying. We will continue our event. Now we will move to panels, discussions in panel, and I'd like to give the floor to the next speaker, Mrs. Majewska Elenuța. Have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I welcome you at the second issue of Moldova Business Week. We'll talk about electronics manufactured in Moldova, which will help improve the conditions for growing fruits, and not only in Edinets, but rather throughout the entire territory of Moldova. My name is Elena Majewska, and I'm Executive Director of the Company for Electronics. Our association was constituted by two companies and the Technical University of Moldova for the purpose developing and enhance the competitiveness of the sector in Moldova and at international. Today we have 32 members, including local, international, capital joint ventures and educational institutions, which overall have over 200 employees, and the turnover is over 200 million. So probably you ask why the farmers or the farming companies and the electronics are together. So electronic industry plays an essential role in modern farming. So they contribute to improving the quality of facilitating the field works and also the processing of raw material afterwards. Today we will speak about a number of equipment such as smart meters that allow us to efficiently distribute the water for irrigation. And in the fields of Moldova, we are going to talk about the lighting bulbs that help us growing plants in greenhouses. We will speak about SCADA systems that help us in agri-farming processes, and we will present a mobile application, Mobile Moldova, which might attract the interest of farmers to improve their processes, their work processes. So I'd like to invite the speakers who will speak about smart solutions implemented, developed or manufactured and implemented in Moldova. The first speaker is Yuri Bushila, ADD company. He represents DT company, is one of the companies that are pioneering in Moldova, is the only one in Moldova that manufacture smart water meters. And Vadim Dan, director and founder of LED Market, also a pioneer company in LED manufacturing in Moldova, which implemented a number of projects locally and international. Also inviting Mr. Dragomir Lukolia Lux, company representative, who will speak about their products. And the last but not least speaker is Gheorghe Ghiju, founder and director of Bessarabia Software Technology Company, who will speak about the usefulness of mobile applications in farming, in agriculture. Mr. Yuri, we will start with you in this panel. Please tell us more details about the smart solutions implemented by the tea company and how they can enhance the efficiency of the work and distribution of the water resources in Moldova. Thank you very much, Liliana. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here with you. My name is Bushila Yurie. First of all, I'd like to apologize for my speech. I do represent ADD group. We have 30 years of experience in developing intelligent solutions for the water metering and metering of electric power. We installed over 8 million smart meters in 35 countries of the world. And today, I would like to show you how our solutions may help the Republic of Moldova fight drought events. In Moldova, we have droughts. We have had droughts over the past 3 years. So over 97,000 hectares of land is affected, and the soil is rather dry, which make it very difficult to grow plants. In order to somehow solve this crisis, we need irrigation systems that would be efficient, but for that, we need to find modalities to better save the water. Last year, approximately 70% of the water used to be consumed by the population, by households, which is a big problem during drought or dry periods or seasons, because the water is insufficient for farming. The main question is, how can we save the water as much as possible? We have 3 main areas. The first would be limiting or reducing the water consumption by the households. Our smart meters allow or give us the possibility to set a consumption limit for every day. For instance, during drought seasons, we can limit the water consumption up to 140 liters per day. Today, the average or the mean consumption is 180 liters of water per day, while the mean in Europe is 146 liters per day, which shows us that we do have a potential to better save the water. The second area would be fighting the leakages. Also in households, our smart meters have valves that would automatically detect the leakages and instantly stop the water flow in case of leakages. This gives us the possibility to save the water as well as the consumer's money. The third area includes fighting big leakages in the water mains. Over 75% of the pipelines are obsolete, old, and we record a lot of leakages. Here, not only we use our smart meters, but rather more comprehensive system that includes smart high diameter meters and advanced software, which allows us to monitor almost in real time the large leakages in bigger pipelines. In this way, we help the water supplier to keep rigorous control over the water mains or water pipelines and save, of course, the water and money. So, what are the advantages of our goods? First of all, we reduce the water consumption. Secondly, we reduce we reduce the leakages among households. And thirdly, we continuously monitor the bigger scale leakages from the suppliers' pipelines. Our solutions reduce the water consumption and help the Republic of Moldova to save this precious resource. I invite you all and call upon you to collaborate and fight the drought in all these ways in Moldova. Thank you for attention. Mr. Yuri, thank you very much. I'd like to mention that ADD meters are manufactured in Moldova. They were certified internationally. And during this panel, you may ask more questions to find more details. But we continue talking about lighting systems or bulbs that are manufactured by LED market. These solutions are manufactured in Moldova in order to improve the conditions for growing plants and not only. Mr. Danu, you have the floor.
Vă rog frumos. So my life also started in Yedinets. I spent my first 18 years of life here. I graduated here from the secondary school, and after graduation I was admitted to the technical university, where my ambition was to create something. So I studied engineering and mathematics, the things which I was passionate with during my childhood. So the light market was founded in 2004, so when I graduated from the university. So it all started while I was a university student. It was my ambition to build something of my own. So I studied one of the things which I loved the most. These were semiconductors and LEDs, which at the time had an enormous potential for development and presented many more advantages compared to traditional lighting. So first of all, it's reduced CO2 generation. It is a greener technology compared to other existing and traditional technologies. So these were the factors which made me start up my own company, learn more and do and try things, and which presented seemed to be a real goal of my life. Now we have about 90 employees. We have several departments, sales, finance, including research and development department. In our production department, we also have an automation of production department. We also have some handmade things, and we also offer installation and maintenance services, warranty period, and the companies for which lighting is a key criteria for their criterion for their business. So we are there. So a few more words. We have headquarters in Chisinau, in the free economic zone. We have over 1,000 square meters of the office. We have a daughter company in Bucharest, Romania. So we have good advantages for exports to Europe. We have a logistics center in China, in southeastern China, where we can procure some raw materials and other inputs which we require to produce our products. Some of the processes have been fully automated, including processing and installation of semiconductors on circuits on these boards. And so I would say 80% of all the production is under control and the research of the company. After this automated process, there is also a manual process to assemble these all elements, a thing which cannot be automated. We also installed a photomedical lab, which is exceptional for Moldova, where the employees study the quality of light and also some potential ways of development in this field. Also, another subject we have been studying for 10 years, it's application of artificial light in growing of intense crops and in controlled environments for production of agricultural cultivation of agricultural products. And yes, the sun is still a natural factor, and we know that the sun radiates certain electromagnetic waves with its passive and active zones of lighting. And the active zone of lighting is the daily light, which we see every day, and respectively it is perceived to various degrees by humans and plants. We perceive the light in different degrees. So for example, if something for the human eye, something is quite light, quite luminous, it doesn't mean that the plant perceives it in the same way. So respectively, sun rays, just like the rainbow, which is a natural phenomenon. A sun ray is composed of several lengths of light waves, and each has its own impact on photosynthesis and on evolution and growth of the plant. So we know that any crop or any plant to grow and to develop needs four decisive factors. These are microelements, fertilization, sun, food, irrigation of CO2, and another very important factor is the light, the sun, which makes all this, which serves as a catalyzer to the other three processes and helps the plant grow faster. In 1962, some researchers from the US, like Mr. McCree, identified a radiation zone for the photosynthesis, which is responsible for growth of the plant and which is necessary for the plant to grow. So with the help of LED technologies which are available today, which have been under intense research for 10 or 15 years now. So these LED technologies now enable us to study separately every bit of the light and how it contributes towards development of the plant. So the zone which was identified between 400 and 700 the length of wave But since this first research, since 2017, two more such corridors, let's say, or zones of light have been identified, which are good for the plant. So here I would like to present you the a lights bulb which radiates such waves which are good for the plants. It includes a sensor, a spectrometer, which is installed together with the light bulb, and if it is installed in a greenhouse, it can collect information. Like if we talk about the greenhouse, so implicitly it would also collect natural light. So this sensor, how to say, compensate or adds to the natural light the exact quantum, the exact quantity of light which is necessary for the plant to grow the best way. So for example, for a strawberry harvest, you need 45 days since it's planted to the harvesting time. So if we if we lack some decisive factors like light, this time for development grows, expands, and if we want to get to also, if we want to grow a harvest off season, which is very highly appreciated by the producers, because one thing is when everybody grows strawberry, and quite different thing when you can grow it off season, off the traditional season. So unless we have these sleds, we are not able to ensure the sufficient quantity of light in days for the strawberry, which are required to generate all the chemical processes in the product. And hence we cannot harvest it, we cannot get the proper harvest. So here is our presentation of technology, another technology, automated technology for growing crops in closed, intense facilities. What is important for the plant is to identify the quantity of light required, the quantity of photons and the intensity of photons on the plant, which contributes to photosynthesis and chemical processes. Also measuring CO2 and humidity, which actually ensure the comforts of the plant. pH sensors, which measure the humidity in soil, which also determine the feeding, how feeding is assimilated and so on. Ozone also there is a possibility to measure the quantity of microelements. And this feeding process, this peristatic pumps, which deliver the food to the basins, to the vases, which ensure the food for the plants to grow. And I'm concluding. I would like to here to present you the companies we cooperate with and our partners. So we have local and foreign partners. We're trying to develop, to expand, we want to install something on the domestic market, some things which will bring us added value and advantages to our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dan, for your presentation. And we are continuing, we further on will discuss about process automation, which are currently most discussed, and the international experience of the Lux company represents a demonstration. Please share the experience of your company as well as of your activity with regard to the automation of processes in factories. Good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation to this forum. I am an engineer by occupation. I'm an engineer in industrial automation, a graduate of the Technical University of Moldova. My activities builds upon industry, automation of industry. Here we are talking about all the areas, and the most practical for you would be, or closest area would be like is located in this industrial park. We had some processes to filter the apple juice, and we also ensure robots for the systems, for packaging, for packing, for unpacking using industrial robots. Today we are going to talk about intelligent smart systems, mainly smart software, less about hardware, and particularly we are going to speak about SCADA systems. What is SCADA? For everybody to make it clear, this is a control system and data acquisition and Internet of Things. This is a very famous acronym, Internet of Things. While working in international industrial area, I worked on all the continents. I tried to transfer the knowledge from industry, like from industrial engineering to this smart Internet of Things, you have seen. And so speaking about electricity or water metering, gigacalories, we are talking about gas, all the energy sources that need to be monitored. Based on them, we need to provide some statistics, data, just to be able to appreciate the efficiency of a system, to say whether we consume more or less natural resources. In SCADA system or in data transfer, we have an architecture. So we have this antenna or GSM or other radio frequency without subscription, and the server follows an interface for the user, a user interface for data processing. To illustrate, like briefly, it's not only in Moldova, but on the world market. We have paid or services or under subscription, all these services that you buy and use without paying subscriptions afterwards. So we have some LoRaWAN protocols like Wi-Fi, but the distance is about, the range, coverage range is about 50 kilometers. Compared to GSM, the distance is larger, but GSM are developed by operators. We know how the mobile phone operator works and how it transfers data. In order to infer some practicality to our discussion, I want to present here some specific examples. So we have Upper Canal Chisinau, the water utility company. So they have smart city, like this is a water metering system in Chisinau, in apartments. So there are certain alarms. We have leakages, for instance, water reversal, the water returning from the meter, and mainly linkages. In such case, we notify the operator about the leakage and they take respective measures to eliminate the leakage. So we have pilot projects with ADD Group and the software made in Moldova is used in smart IT. Also, water metering in Ungheni, another project. So we installed 1,000 water meters in the apartments of Ungen town. So with that remote data reading, so Upper Canal staff no longer goes to read the data from the meter, but they receive the data remotely. So now the other energy sources, gas for instance, we also install meters, we install modules like with remote transmission of data, and then we have software for data processing. One type is like billing, the other ones would be like data on technical losses. So we meter both temperature and other ambient factors that may affect in a way or another the energy efficiency. Smart IT in electric power generation. So we did this at the Technical University. So for the electric power meters. So we had projects using radio modules with a frequency of 178 megahertz. Speaking about renewables, renewable energy, we have remote monitoring of wind and photovoltaic plants. Currently, we have over 60 nodes of photovoltaic parks of 1 megawatt. So, and we afterwards we monitor and do the remote reading, and also we have information if there is wind and the generator does not produce, then we send the application sends a signal just in order for the specialist to eliminate the problem or resolve the problem again. So we receive a signal that the electric power installation is defected. So remote metering, in addition to it, we have the forecasting. In order to generate electricity in Moldova, you need to forecast how much energy you will generate tomorrow, and the schedule should be strictly observed, because if you don't observe, you might be penalized or the surplus energy would not be paid for. So that's why the generators should be very precise in generating electricity. So with the last, thanks, of course, we had a higher generation. So another area would be metering the soil parameters, temperature, humidity. So here we can also include other soil parameters such as sulfur, or can ensure a thorough analysis of the soil that would afterwards be transmitted in cloud, and then we could see the history and know exactly where to apply more fertilizers, for instance. This is what the software can do. And the successive step from smart IoT, we spoke about billing. The billing is linked to the final beneficiary consumer and his bill for electricity, for gas, for heating, for water supply. So in agriculture, also another painful factor would be irrigation. So automation of pumping station to pump water for irrigation, for supplying water to cities, for the use of wastewater. So I'd like to present you a number of projects that were financed. For instance, Upper Canal Chisinau, the pumping station was fully reconstructed and implementing a remote reading system, so we could monitor all the flow, also if there are breakages or if there are fissures and leakages. So what else can SCADA do? So it can ensure the efficiency of the pumping station. So we pump water in the city, but how much would be 1 cubic meter of pump water in Chisinau, for instance? We have a factor kilowatt per cubic meter of water. In real time, we do monitor this coefficient that tells us. In this case, Upper Canal Chisinau operator incurs 1.84 kilowatt hours for pumping 1 cubic meter of water. So this can be used to calculate the cost of Upper Canal. Again, losses or leakages or breakages in the fissures in the pipeline. So we monitor the pumping stations and also the process of water supply as well as the supplying water for irrigation as well. So boreholes, so where we do take the water for irrigation from the underground, from rivers. So again here we can ensure remote control to monitor the water that is used in greenhouses, and we have front end and back end. What happens in the back end? How the water comes in an automatic manner, being equipped with IoT systems. So of course we can provide the background information on how the losses are being detected or fissures, because we are talking about the quality of energy supply or water supply. And when we open the tap and there's no water running, this would show a bad quality of the services. So we can monitor different alarms. Another project was financed together with the GIZ, with the European Union, Upper Canal Leova water operator, which is one of the most developed operators in Moldova. So there is just one person who manages the entire technological process, pumping the water from the Prut River towards all the neighboring villages. Water abstraction, filtering process, and all other alarms that emerge in order to meet the demand for water of the consumers. Again, the management system. I'm trying to show you all our possibilities and our engineering capacities for water supply, for instance. So for agriculture, water treatment, for instance. So the water reaches the kindergarten. Before that, the water should be treated and the right doses of all the minerals should be ensured, and all this process is automated. Also sewerage water, which is treated or evaporated and then sent back for use. So a single system sends different alarms. We are trying to use the technologies we have in place to the maximum extent. So we don't need to search for such systems abroad, because everything is being manufactured here. Upper Canal operator Cahul, water operator in Cahul, the entire town is equipped with SCADA IoT system. Some background information. Upper Canal operator, water operator, has a contract in ensuring efficiency in water supply. So with the support of SCADA system, they determined the high losses. The pumping stations being old, obsolete. So, and when using a closed circuit, the water used to be pumped continuously because the wall would not operate. And when I told you 0.084 kilowatts per cubic meter, but in Cahul it was much higher. So, with the support, with the help of SCADA system, it was detected that in a certain zone the water would be circulating in a closed circuit. Also, engineers do this, they detect different anomalies and intervene in the process to eliminate the deficiencies. For again, boreholes. So Alexandrion village, so remote automation, nobody would go to the borehole, everything is automated. Just they go there for periodical maintenance. This is it about SCAD systems implemented in Moldova and other smart technologies. Initially, I talked about billing, the efficiency and monitoring of the consumption and what happens on the back end. But we focused on the water, pumping of water, distribution, and so on. As regards robots, I think it makes no sense to tell you, but we are into this as well. Industrial robots, we also manufacture. Thank you, Mr. Dragomir. Definitely, whoever is interested may ask questions, but I want to suggest you that recently we recorded a video podcast with Mr. Dragomir, and he spoke about international experience. And should you have time, if just I encourage you to listen to this podcast about Mr. Dragomir's activity at international level, and which will make you proud of their activity. Thank you very much.
And we go on with the software solutions implemented by a local company, a company which has been recently founded in the Republic of Moldova. Georgi Gizev, the founder of the company Bessarabia Software Technology, which also works with automated solutions and which aims to develop a mobile application. But let's listen to Georgi, he will tell us about it, and also how it will help the modern agriculturalists to register and to monitor the agricultural processes. Well, you told about soft, and Aleko, when talking about soft in Moldova, is laughing. But in fact, Moldovan soft runs in many places internationally. The GDP, let me mention GDP as well. In 2021, there was a study made which placed Moldova on the second place after Latvia by this per head of per citizen. So our company, Bessarabia Software Technologies, and what we do. So we discussed it a lot and decided to produce, to make, to develop something for the agriculturalists. So let me start with something, but this is not my presentation. It's not the last one, the latest one. So there must be here a screenshot from Viber. Who of you are exporters or producers? Which platform do you find what you want to export? Yes, on Viber and WhatsApp groups. Right. So here we needed another picture with a meteo station, which is like in 80% of the Moldovan territory, and the question is where to place a meteo station. Does anybody of you have a meteo station? Okay, okay. And they all admitted that these meteo stations are not produced in Moldova, but brought from somewhere else. And he says, okay, why don't we produce meteo stations? Yes, this is our problem, that we IT companies, how to say, the Ministry of Agriculture and us, we do not have a good cooperation with the ministry to produce something good for something necessary for Moldova. Okay, because people talk about smart metering. Again, my question, why smart metering is not introduced in Moldova? So we discussed other topics as well, and we decided to start a nice application. So what does our application do? It lives in Viber. So we have a farmer, a producer, someone who produces some material to plant, some plantlets. And they want to find a market. So, because, okay, the producers look for this uh, plantlets, the producers of plantlets look for someone who will buy it. So, next, if we bring from Austria, I forgot what are these. Okay, we want to do something in the green field, but we also want a smart greenhouse to use this application. And for you to control and to manage your land in real time, for you to receive notifications through your application. So, by the way, application is already ready, and now we are developing the hardware. So, a mobile application is already functional. What we are doing now is we discuss with Bioprotect and other these big companies which are saying that they don't need us because they sell very well anyway, and we're trying to convince them that they do need us. And for example, I don't know, I have a problem with some plants and I need to buy some agricultural chemical products, which is a big challenge in Moldova and which are sold only in big quantities. And then, problems with cashback and so on. So what we want to do? The application is ready, and we further on work on sensors and what else is necessary for a smart greenhouse, to ensure full control of your business from your application. Or when we talk about green fields, about some plots of land or hectares, we're working on, what is that? Something which detects insects or catch or traps for insects, and then we will continue with the media stations. So the mobile application, if you are somewhere away, for example, you live in Chisinau and you have a plot of land in Yedinets, you can you can trap these insects, and the application will send you photos of insects in real time. So who are the users? It's producers, exporters, and so on. So as a farmer, what you can do? For example, we ask you in which zone you are going to grow something. So you introduce the zone, and then what we know, first of all, the satellite tells us forecasts, temperatures. We can also tell you if you have any pests on this plot, and so you can find the chemicals or exporters or seeds or these plantlets, in the autumn time. Well, as a producer and a farmer, because they are looking for chemistry products or their markets, particularly exporters. So the exporter can write, for example, I am looking for apples, and then based on his geolocations, the application will show you the nearest farmers, how many tons by village, the year of the harvest, and how many tons they have. Yes, the application is already functional. No, you will not find it on App Store. We are preparing for December. We want to launch it since next year. It's free yet, but we design it as a subscription-based application. So this is our idea. Here, you want some pesticides, so we want to include in this application also the producers of pesticides, so they will be also able to sell their products in our application. What else? Marketplace. We want to replace Viber, as I said. or the security, all the data are encrypted, so nobody else will find out about, who, where, how many tons, and so on. Also, we have integrated some artificial intelligence, and actually it consumes a lot of time from us. Because to teach the artificial intelligence, you have to show it like 3 pictures of plants. Like you have a disease, so you have to show it 3 photos for it to learn to recognize disease. So this is what we are doing. We are teaching the artificial intelligence because we wanted to do the diagnostics and also to offer treatment. So what medicines or what pesticides to apply. Satellite also. For example, you can introduce your coordinates where you grow your plants, and based on this database Sentinel-1 and 2, it will grasp information from the previous database and will predict the approximate harvest you will have. So if, say, you have 200 hectares and everything around you is full of diseases, of pests, then how much effort and how much budget it will cost you to apply the new pesticides and so on. So, and such photos, let's say, photos which, the red part was where very little harvest is projected. So the application will help finding a solution for the best application of fertilizers and whatever to achieve the best harvest. So we made a connection with the tech, which produce some pheromones to stick on traps and to attract various bugs. And we have the sensor will make a photo, also the quantity to judge, and will send you through your application. So we believe that our solution will be 100% complete by 2026 with all the package of meteo stations and the smart smart house type. Yes, smart greenhouse. So I think the question from the whole is that maybe this application should be not only for the big producers, but also for household plots, small plots. He says exactly, like my father has just like 0.3 of hectare, but those who love really to do their land, yes. We don't hear the questions without microphone, but I think the question was about whether they have consultants or experts, and he says yes, we negotiate like with 30 consultants. The lady obviously represents some institute, and she invites them to come and discuss. Yes, we discuss. We discuss with various organizations, but now we really try to focus on the development. Okay, I see that people are very much interested.
I would like to thank all the speakers for their speeches. At the end, I would like, of the panel, I'd like to ask an additional question to each of you. And should anyone from the room want to ask questions, please raise your hands. So to ask your questions, I would start with Mr. Yurie. We know that the drought in Europe is a rather serious problem in Europe, and I would like you to share your experience with regard to the solutions that you implemented in the countries that are already facing this serious problem related to droughts. You're right. In Europe, the drought issue or problem is rather serious. Likewise, in Moldova, countries such as Spain and Portugal, they are fighting the drought applying penalties. If you consume more when there is drought, the authorities will apply penalties, will sanction you. We think this solution is not very efficient just because those people who want to consume more, they will rather pay but keep consuming more, fill in their pools or use their washing machines, turn them off every day, even during the drought. So on the other hand, we are familiar with the experience of countries such as Italy, Greece, Poland that chose smart solutions, installing ultrasound-based smart solutions or meters. Italy is the most advanced country in this area. And of course, we won 100th project of installing or supplying, and we've already supplied 20,000, and we won another project to supply 1,000 smart meters with valves. In Greece also, we won a project to install. This is the first project in Greece in which we the smart meters with the valves and ultrasound will be installed. So we've already installed 1,000 such meters. So we see that in the future people will start using smart meters with the valves that will help us fight against drought both in Moldova and in Europe. Thank you, Mr. Yuri. I'd like to ask Mr. Dano about the advantages of buying light bulbs or LED bulbs from Moldovan manufacturers. Again, so one of the factors that was mentioned also by Mr. Garaz, we support the local industry and we keep developing each other together. So secondly, there are no lighting bulbs, universal ones that would work for all the crops, for instance. So for each crop, the modality of placing these LED bulbs is specific. One advantage is that we have a modality of manufacturing a dedicated lighting bulb for certain crops, for certain type of greenhouses. Secondly, we are here in Moldova and we can ensure a warranty period, even post-warranty. When the warranty expires, we can modify or repair or maintain the lighting system you have. We'll continue discussing about the advantages of made in Moldova products. So what is the advantage of your application? Because the farmer is connected to the landlords in real time. What would be most important to buy? The application manufactured in Moldova rather than looking something analogous or similar abroad? We can, but who would give you a warranty or who would ensure maintenance or repair if something is broken? If you buy locally, you can do it locally. So sustainability is the idea. So you need to choose what is more sustainable. Mr. Dragomir? Why is it possible for engineering services available in Moldova without applying to solutions from abroad? I would say that the Republic of Moldova has very good engineers, and I've got a team that can even, how to say, or exceed the capacities and even outrun the engineers from abroad. So we can provide some examples, and I'd like to ask, we have industrial robots manufactured in Moldova, exported to the United States, to California, to Italy, to Germany, China. So made in Moldova, designed, programmed, cabled, and in different sectors, we have such robots. I would like to ask the colleagues to start my presentation to show you a specific example of industrial robots manufactured by Moldovan engineers and exported. For this, you need to be patient and to be motivated and to be a good manager in order to manage such projects of such scale. Because when we talk about export projects, so we need to ensure international communication, reports, standards of the importing countries, particularly the EU and the US. For instance, in the EU, the Industry 4.0 certificate relates to the energy efficiency and automation efficiency, in which you need to ensure control of this equipment, and for that there is a number of conditions to take over the remote control and manage and also record data, as I showed you with Upper Canal or with smart metering. All this data should be recorded so we know how much we produced, if there is a defect, where our troubleshooting, where to jump and shoot the trouble. So, and I want to firmly state that we do have very good minds in Moldova that we could take pride in. One more question, Mr. Dragomir. Comes from the audience. My name is Dan Bena. I will not ask you a question, but rather tell you who we are in a few words. My name is Dan Pena. I am the owner of a company from Romania with Romanian shareholding or capital, and I want to announce that we want to come to Moldova, and I will tell you the reason. Compared to many other companies outside Moldova that came here, they came here, as Mrs. Bijan saying, for a single purpose, for the cheap labor or workforce. While we came here for another reason. We came here just due to capabilities or capacity and seriousness of the workforce. We have Mr. Georgi. It is him who brought me here and encouraged me to start a business. Actually, we already collaborate with the designing team. We use qualified workforce and not manual. And what we want to do here, we want electronic manufacturing services. We have high technologies for electronic production. We want to put into use of the developers from Moldova, then our know-how, our technology, and our knowledge gathered during over 31 years. I'm so glad that I have this occasion to meet you, to be here with you, and I think we will do a good job together. Thank you very much. Thank you for such useful information. I feel honored that during my panel, a collaboration and extension of your company in Moldova, an electronic company from electronic sector. I'd like to thank all the speakers of this panel, and I think that their success stories have motivated you, that we have producers or manufacturers of international level that could supply applications, goods for the agricultural sector, and I want you to applaud him for their work, for their hard work. And I think our companies, our Moldovan company, the association, if you are searching for a partner to implement rather smart and interesting solutions, we are ready to help you implement. And the sector, I think, has demonstrated that they are open for new opportunities, for new collaborations. Thank you for your speeches, for your time. And further on, I'd like to invite the next speaker who will present the panel, Yurie Fal, Deputy Director of Moldova Fruit, Deputy General Director of Moldova Fruit Association. Good afternoon. I hope that those who are into electronics might get an interest in our presentation, so please stay to the end. So, dear Mayor, dear EU delegation, colleagues from the EU delegation, dear entrepreneurs, members of Moldova Fruit Association, I'm really glad and honored to come in front of you and deliver a presentation. And I hope and I will try to be brief, so we can have more time to discuss and answer questions and find answers to the issues of our interest. I'd like to tell you what the fruit sectors in Moldova means and what are the opportunities for trade and investment. If look where Moldova is situated in the heart of Europe, which means we contribute and the distances are good, optimal. So we are quick, we have a short supply chain. Within 5 days we reach Great Britain, but for 5 days with the support of the EU delegation, we, ensure fluidity at the customs. This time will reduce even more, and once we access the EU, this road or this time will be shortened much more. So you had a chance to see that we have a well-developed sector. We have a modern truck fleet for export and also for import from the EU. We have very robust and sound customs procedures, simple ones, and we have a lot of our connationals who open companies in Romania, and then this facilitates trade with the EU. So everybody should know this information. And I want to mention that in my panel we have my colleague from Moldova Fruit, the director of Aspect Fruit Cooperative. It's a business cooperative. And also we have George Bedescu, executive director of the Association of the largest store chain from Romania, who is online with us. Let us see what are the opportunities of trading fruits. And you will see that in Moldova we can supply fruits throughout the entire year, 12 months. 75% of the plums are exported starting mid of September until the end of November. Even at the beginning of December, when in the EU or in the majority of the neighboring countries the plum season is over, and our grapes that can become an alternative for the expensive grapes from very far distances, such as Peru or other countries. They are very accessible due to the quick delivery and short supply chain. Moldova is still undiscovered or not discovered, but many store chains or market chains, including neighboring countries and the EU countries. But you should know that we can supply 21,000 tons of cherries, for instance, with a special taste, 75,000 tons of grapes, so very many stone fruits can be, and the mix has changed, and the majority of them are European varieties. We do have modern orchards and post-harvesting, a relatively modern post-harvesting infrastructure. You had a chance to visit two such companies, and more producers are certified or that are required by the market chains or supermarket chains, but mainly required by the EU. If talk about Moldova Fruit Association, I cannot but just say what we may be of use to those potential clients that would like to collaborate with the fruit sector in Moldova. We have a website, a web page that you can explore and find partners or get in contact, because we have all our members and products that they sell. We have virtual tours we organize with the support of our partners during the COVID pandemic. So you can see and you can find us on the platform of international exhibitions that inclusively the investment agency supports us in participating. So you can find any market related information on the websites if you want to invest or do trade. Of course, we organize business missions, and it was a pleasure for us to be partners at this event, providing you some members of ours to share their opportunities and possibilities. Of course, our association can facilitate trading with our members. We have 256 professional producers and exporters, who constitute a motivation for all the companies, including those who provide solutions, likewise in the previous panel. So they provided some smart solutions, digitalization or automated systems and so on. The opportunities that I would like to share with you, what would be the areas attractive for investment and that might attract local and international partners. These will be the technologies resilient or resistant to climate change, so we can build a smart fruit sector. Here we refer to new varieties, smart irrigation systems, anti-frost and anti-hail systems. So the majority of the machinery and equipment or inputs to be produced inclusively in our country, post-harvesting infrastructure, which is still poorly developed, would be attractive for the producers from the EU. And of course, so digitalization and robotization of the sector would be a good area for investment. So we invite all the producers or manufacturers of such equipment, machinery, of solutions to discover Moldova, because it is a good market, and the governor of the National Bank of Moldova spoke in a recent interview. Whoever refuses to invest in Moldova in 10 years or even in 5 years, it might be late for them to make such a decision. What are we available to do for you? So, So we have a fruit business conference that is held every year in December with over 300 producers and exporters. Last year we had 37 speakers from abroad who came to our country and found partners. This year we are going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of this exhibition, and we have a specialized Fruit Day exhibition which is organized in springtime or in summertime. This year we had the sixth issue and we had over 60 private companies and approximately 450 producers. We would be very much interested in packaging material because we would be interested to start manufacturing the packaging material locally because the majority of packing material is imported, and that's why we would want these foreign manufacturers to open some branch or daughter companies and mainly to focus on reusable packaging, and this would be beneficial, and it would be good to have financial services and also lending services, because commercial banks, only 4 out of the total 11 that provide loans to our sector. We would like this number to be bigger, to serve as a good initiative for them. This is all in brief. I wanted to tell you. I will be looking forward to receiving questions from the room, from the audience, if any. And of course, we would like a short video to be to be put on the screen. A short video about our sector, the fruit sector of Moldova. So the last message, we would be interested to know what is the fate of those tariffs that we extended after the start of Russia's invasion in Ukraine in order to ensure some predictability, but we will discuss this with authorities. So unfortunately they are not here any longer. We will find the right door to knock and ask this question. Mr. George Bedescu, are you here? Mr. Bedescu? Not here? He's online. He will speak. So try to help us so we can hear him. So good afternoon, everybody. Mr. George, I want to introduce you. You are Executive Director of the Association of the largest chain of stores from Romania. So we see you well. Do you hear us?
Yes, hello everybody, I can hear you, and actually I've been listening to you. So let me tell you a few quick words. I understand it has been a long day for you, and you're looking forward to discuss some other topics. But I would like to greet everyone who attends your Business Week Forum, and particularly Moldova Fruit Association. And I would like to share this common opinion among those who does this business. So believe that Moldova has highly qualified specialists with high expertise. And I'm telling it not only for politeness, because this is true. And this is not only my opinion, but also the opinion of my colleagues from the association. So you need more courage, though, to access projects which should bring you the full recognition and prosperity to all those who are involved in agriculture in general, but particularly in the sector of fruit production. Um, we uh, we are an association of large commercial networks in Romania. And the biggest part of effort of our association is not only for, enabling this networking and infrastructure, but also to support the fruit producers. So we're quite an old association. We have 20 members, and you can see their logos on this slide. And in Romania, we have a law which declared the flower of a peon as its symbol, and an oak leaf is a symbol in many athletic games and sports, as you know. But we selected for our association uses the peon as the symbol of our association. I also would like to tell you that what your association can do on the executive plan is to serve as a contact platform, or let's say intermediate or mediate good communication with international players who are also present in Romania. And maybe you will play, in fact, a decisive role in such mediation, in such networking. Because our association, let me tell you a few words, that the majority of our members are Romanian citizens, and among the 15 largest members we have, 5 are in the top large companies of Romania. So the expertise is vast. They can share with you the experience of more than 20 years. So they can give you maybe, I guess, some very important recommendations, very specific and detailed. And as I say, we are open, we can share contacts, we can organize meetings, even like this, even via online platforms. Some of the challenges we know from press, we know that you have in Moldova. In fact, Romania also has lived through these problems. And therefore, we are quite aware of what's going on in Moldova because we have similar experience. And well, you can read on the slide the message we prepared, but I also want to tell you something in a few words that, again, having the experience we have, that agriculture and agri-food industry are very important. And if we cannot win markets, then all the efforts, all the results our producers achieve will not find their consumers. And and will not bring them the expected results, the expected sales, and will cause big problems. The market is highly competitive, particularly in the European market.
Între timp, dumneavoastră puteți să vedeți și ceea ce scrie pe aceste slide-uri. Eu aș vrea pentru că există scris, eu aș vrea doar să completez câteva aspecte care poate nu sunt neapărat atât de evidente.
I invite you to read the slide. Unfortunately, I cannot read the slide from here. So I cannot translate the slide from here. So, and he says, I want to add something in words that the key factor I want to focus on from our experience is you should look for as many foreign markets as possible. Of course, the domestic market is good, is important, but
până la urmă,
ultimately, if we talk about sales deficit or some liquidities or some access to markets, it is very important to ensure presence on the markets which can offer you the profit, at least the margin, the due margin. Also an example from Poland, which chose its priority to go on sales of apples, and we had a discussion with them, and we know that their apple sector, our apple market is dominated by apples from Poland. So, hence the conclusion, we need to be able to prioritize. So it's not necessary to produce every possible fruit, but it's important to focus on a few products where we can ensure an aggressive promotion, aggressive marketing, offering good market conditions. And for example, in the field of or in the sector, in the fruit sector, because in Romania and in Moldova, both Romania and Moldova are very good in plum production. And in fact, plums also potentially can be sold in form of various food products, so they can be prioritized. In Romania, in fact, we have a few government programs like for tomatoes and recently for garlic. So it's important to identify priorities and to focus on priorities for both Romania and Moldova to have a competitive advantage, which will ensure, first of all, access to a market. But what's even more important as access, it's to ensure continuity, sustainability of supply. Because quite often what happens in Romania, and which provokes big frustrations, is that when producers ultimately end up on rafts of supermarkets, on shelves of supermarkets, with all the competition behind and so on, they cannot maintain this continuity, the continuous supplies. And hence the problem with liquidity and with cash flow and so on. So how can it be ensured? That through association with other companies or through making various forms of cooperation, maybe through joint venture or other formats which can sustainably support the company, particularly in such critical situations.
fie business-ul nu poate merge mai departe și pentru că
particularly
ăla
when
este cumva
profits
un
are
fel de
lower and business
gest
cannot develop,
în relație cu
which
managerea
can eventually lead to a
anumite
bankruptcy.
discuții și despre produsele locale sau despre magazine, dacă sunt locale, nu sunt locale. Cu alte cuvinte, trebuie,
In other
într-un
words,
fel, așa cum spuneam, pe lângă prioritizare,
besides focusing on priorities,
alegerea unui mod de management
you
în
should
care să
think
se asigure
about
că
choosing
strategia
a method of management
este una de durată și
which is able to ensure sustainable long-term contacts, cooperation, which will be successful even after this first attempts of or first success. What else I would like to add is about supermarkets in general. You know, all the big markets, let's say, big shops, let's say.
de genetică, dacă vreți, mai ales că de multe
There is
ori se
this
întâmplă despre
genetic
femei,
research,
despre
because people, I will remind you that people you often discuss this, familiar tastes from childhoods and so on. In Romania, very often the biggest channel for fruits and so the biggest chain, let's say, is not shops but open markets, which are many in Romania. But an important element is that the figures we refer to
caracteristică să poată să își păstreze proprietățile.
The products we refer to, what is important for them is to maintain its taste along the whole life of this whole line from producer to the sailor. So it should preserve all its recognized characteristics, which can be ensured by wholesale companies or big retailers. And I'm sure that you have for sure worked with the two biggest chains in Romania. You're all familiar with them. Finally, we have a very good, in agricultural sense, land. We have everything what is required for production. What we need to learn is the characteristic, the features of market. And you need to be aware of these factors if you want to produce an added value product and actually achieve the results which you will be happy with. Thank you very much for attention. I'm looking forward to our further contacts, and I would like to thank the Moldovan embassy in Bucharest. I have good colleagues in Moldova with whom we actually graduated the same faculty. I haven't been often to Moldova, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure Moldova has a big potential, and I would like to wish you good luck in your activities. Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. If you can stay a little bit to answer some question, if there is any question for you in the audience. If not, then I would like to ask you one question. We've had a very good experience when we organized a good business mission together with your association. And I would like to ask you, maybe we should facilitate the link through contacts and organize other business missions, for instance, Moldova Fruit Association together with your association. Yes, we are available and open to such further missions. We are looking forward to having you in Bucharest or in Chisinau. We are inviting you to Chisinau. It's always been a pleasure, great pleasure. and I've always had a high spirit. I was in a high mood and spirit, and liked colleagues from the Republic of Moldova. Yes, we consider an invitation that we want to invite you, maybe if you have possibility to come together with the members of your association. So we have the investment agency representatives here, and so you will find partners for all the areas of your activity. We are mainly interested in fruits. So, and I think it would be good for you to have a commercial or trade mission or business mission to the Republic of Moldova. Thank you. Wishing you lots of health, and we highly appreciate your effort to speak in our forum. Further, I'd like to invite my colleague, the Executive Director of the Aspect Fruit Producer Group. He will make a short presentation. Good afternoon. I will try to be brief, given the fact that we are fewer and fewer present in the audience. My name is Roman Vrabi. I do represent two business cooperatives from this industrial park of Edinets, the Aspect Fruit that is in the immediate proximity located. We have plum drying facility. We also have storage to store the fruits. Total investment is 20 million lei, of which considerable contribution was made by MACP project financed by the European Union, particularly contributing $200,000, and half of the subsidies were received from IEPA. Over the years, our cooperative is another cooperative is CoFruit, that is also present in this industrial park. We are cooperative that includes a few members, each of us having their own orchard and own land, and we also are into storage, and we have sorting and grading line, and also cardboard box manufacturing line. There is an investment of 30 million lei, and MACP Association also provided $300,000, and the turnover of both companies raises 15 million lei annually. The turnover. I don't think if we manage to physically visit our premises, but I can tell you in a few words that in addition to these two facilities that are located in the industrial park, at around 1 kilometer distance, we do have orchards. We grow particularly fruits. So we can notice here in this video our super intensive orchard during the plantation works, and when we were covering it with the anti-hail net, and we have plums, cherries, and also we dry them, not only produce them. The main buyers, or let's say where we export previously would be CIS countries, but now we've diversified and oriented towards European countries, particularly Romania, Poland, and also Ukraine. We export rather big quantities to Ukraine every year. So, speaking about certificates, we have the necessary standards already, or certificates for Moldova. During the previous years, we would have a global gap certificate also in GRASP. So currently, in addition to these two projects that we have in the industrial park, we also have a pond for hectares. We are expanding it, enlarging it. It is at the border with the industrial park. In the video you will see it. And for the future, we plan to finalize the expanding of this pond of 4 hectares. Now we are implementing 2 photovoltaic plants or systems in order to supply the electric power to the cold storage and for the irrigation or for other processes with the support of AIPA and ODA, and we want to thank them very much for their support. In the future, we intend to deepen our links with the European Union and try to export further to other countries. In addition to the current partners that we export our products, we have a plan to establish relations with more exotic countries for Moldova, such as Arab Peninsula countries and India. So, as a future plan in the next years, when we finalize the projects that are in full swing, we are maybe we will create something touristic facility that would be based on our agricultural farming facilities. We are open to collaboration. We work on the territory of the industrial park 6 days out of 7 days of the week. We are constantly here, and our contact details are on in the video. But should you be interested in any information, just call me, and I want to thank you for attention. At the end of the session, I want to thank you for your attention. Thank you, Roman. If there is no question from the audience, as a moderator, I need to ask you. I'm curious to know what are the quantities of the fruits that you suggest to the buyers. Very good question. I missed somehow saying this. Well, we joined these 2 cooperatives just for the purpose of ensuring larger quantities and being more attractive for the EU market, because the volumes represent the main obstacle for Moldovan producers. So we work together, the members of the cooperative. We have around 90 hectares of apple orchard, 25 hectares of plum trees, and 10 hectares of sweet cherries. We also have small lots and apricots and peaches. And in 2023, we managed to offer 3,000 tons of apples to the buyer, 200 tons of sweet cherry, and around 800 tons of plums. So the quantities are rather attractive, I think, for the larger scale consumers. And also we are open for cooperation or for smaller quantities. Together with Mr. Yuri Fala, we will participate in other business missions organized to other countries in order to establish new contacts. So for the time being, you don't have quantities for dry plums, but we supply only upon request, upon order. So we have the right facilities, but for instance, this year we do not dry plums because there's no demand. The plums are demanded in fresh condition. So we are taking some, break from drying the plums this year, since there are no orders. Sorry, the question I cannot hear. We have 5 members in each cooperative. All of them are from Edinets district and Briceni, the neighboring district. So the minimum distance is 100 meters practically, and the maximum one would be 20 kilometers. So from the cold storage, we are rather compact cooperatives situated close to each other. And it is rather attractive for the international routes that go through our region in a way. Thank you, Roman. Any other questions, dear audience? So everything that I need to do is to thank Roman for his efforts, for his interesting presentation. And the last panelist is also has provided a video and they will present another area in the fruit growing sector and will show them how the apples are processed in the industrial park of Edines. So and let us view and watch this video to make an idea about this processor that is located in the industrial park. Doesn't work? In such case, I would like to use this opportunity to thank you for being so patient and staying with us up to the end of the session. Thank you. And I want to congratulate the investment agencies, the organizers of this event, the industrial park and colleagues from Edines. Indeed, they have surprised us with their results and successes. Wishing you lots of success further on, and thank you for attention.
Dacă se poate, vrem să vă mulțumim în calitate de gazdă acestui eveniment.
Now, let me, on behalf of the hosts, to thank you all for your participation and for the interest shown in our city and in the north of Moldova. And I think an important conclusion for today is that there is a big potential in growing and cultivating fruit in the north of Moldova, and that we have an IT sector which is well developed in Moldova, and maybe this, in cooperation with the fruit, will be a good contributor to success of the fruit sector, and that it can also bring value added to our fruits for us to compete in European and other markets. Another conclusion is that Yedinets is developing dynamically, and besides the support to the private sector, it also cares for the living standards in this locality to help the businessmen to open, to develop new jobs, and also to enjoy some attractive living conditions. This all will contribute